them. And so, we're talking about using false keys and misdirection, trying to give the linebackers a wrong key in order to get the ball outside so we can get, an extra blocker on the perimeter, or at least get hat on hat and have some of our very fast players in space to take advantage of. So specifically, these linebackers are very well coached at reading guards. The safeties are usually locked in on their target. So, you see your field side safety on top of number 2. And then the weak side safety or strong safety, usually key in on the sniffer back if you're, in 20 personnel or 11, as a lot of teams like us use. So these players are locked in on their keys. They're hard to fool. And so really you kind of have to, use their discipline against them. So the schemes I'm going to be talking about is going to start with bash. We've been very successful running bash. We started running bash with the GT bash, and of course bash meaning backside handoff. So the read is the backside in, where the sweep is off the backside of the run blocking. And then we're going to talk about counter and power G bash, which we love to do against odd fronts. And specifically, last couple of years, we've had about 13 yards of carry on those plays. Then the next play that we're going to talk about is our counter screen. Just show you how we do ours. I know there's a lot of teams that are running counter screens now. We keep it simple, but we get the ball out quick and have the linemen taking the right angles, and of course using the false key against the linebackers and safeties. Then I'm going to talk about using the false keys on reverses, off counter and power G. And then also, lastly, going to talk about one of our favorite third down schemes, using the sprint out throwback screens, as we do use a lot of sprint out in our protection, rolling the quarterback out and throwing the ball play side. And so we're looking to attack backside in the screen game off of that, as teams, will end up matching your sprint out protection and getting pressure on you. And of course, rotating the coverage towards the sprint out. The backside is often a key place to go. Okay, so the first visual right here, this is just an example of what we'll get. And so you have, the odd front, 2 linebackers are just locked in on the guards. And of course, they're going to overlap each other on gap schemes when you get a puller. They're going to, fit zone very well. And that safety on top of the Y, we play, 3 or 4 teams a year that, they're just extremely well coached. And, you're not going to get that Y free a whole lot, or when that Y blocks the end or blocks the outside backer, that safety's going to add himself to the box, add himself to the perimeter, and is often unblocked. And so this just presents a challenge, because you have 7 guys kind of in the box with those 2 outside backers, and that safety being the 8th. We're only blocking right here with 6, maybe 7 if we're running the quarterback. So these are schemes trying to utilize, the false key and make the safety's life a lot tougher from getting to the football. Okay, so first play we're going to look at is actually going to be our power bash play. So we've got quarterback power to the right in this diagram. We're going to have the standard power G scheme here. We run power G against an odd front. Our play side tackle will usually base the end, and then we'll have the Y lead up the outside backer. But of course, we're going to read the backside end right here. We're going to read that defensive end on the boundary. And of course, a lot of teams that play at odd front, their tendency is to move the front towards the sniffer, towards the Y. And so we're hoping to get the ball out on the perimeter here. And of course, our left tackle is arc releasing to the outside backer. And the movements you'll see here by that inside linebacker on the boundary and that safety, they're going to key the tight end. They're going to key that left guard pulling, and they're going to take themselves out of the play by just being really good at what they do, by reading the pullers and reading the tight end. And of course, when we run this play, we're looking to get the ball on the perimeter. The quarterback, if the end is wide, will keep it, and so that's going to protect the play and allow us to use the quarterback run game off of this. But I would definitely say that this is in the game plan for us to try to get the ball on the perimeter. All right, the second one right here, you've got the same play right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I added the full line of blocking right there. So this is not a second play. This is the same exact play we've got just the offensive line blocking, and you can see the receivers. Everybody on bash is blocking. There's no RPOs off of this. And I think we have a clip right here. And all we're going to get right here is a couple of false steps right here from the backside backer and the safety. And, of course, having that with the tackle in the alley, our tackle during this season right here was a very effective player. He was really big and could move. And so if we watch it from the end zone, or here's from the tight, we can see here we get what we want. We get the boundary defensive end pinching inside because he's slanting towards the sniffer. You're going to get that tackle on the weak side outside linebacker. And then the rest is up to number 4 being really fast. So that's been a really good scheme for us, the power bash. A couple other times right here. This is the same game later on off the other side. Pretty good look. Not quite as successful, but still a good read by the quarterback. Still getting some movement from the safety, from the linebacker. Linebacker is able to make a play right there. He had, I'm sure, adjusted on the sideline, which, of course, probably made him slower when we did run regular power or regular G schemes. Okay, next one is the counter bash, the GH bash. So same play pretty much, but now we're taking the Y and we're pulling them. And so doing this, again, it's if the quarterback keeps it, he's running quarterback counter. If he gives it, we're outside with the tackle arcing for the outside backer. And it just gives an extra level of window dressing to see the guard and the Y both pulling together. If you're the linebacker, you're definitely going to be seeing, okay, it's going to be pull, and you're overlapping towards the play side, the way the offensive line is blocking. So this is a very effective play again here too, using the false key. And again, we're trying to use a false key, but we're going to read the end, and if the end, is wide, then we'll protect the play and not get the running back blown up. You watch the weak side linebacker here move with the guard. We get about 4 or 5 steps, ends up on the wrong side. Safety ends up, running out and having an angle, but it doesn't make the play. So, with a better player, that might not be a touchdown. But again, though, you get a good influence right there, getting both linebackers to flow towards the counter. All right, here's a clip of it not working. You've got times where, quarterback might pre-snap guess on what's going to happen right here. Certainly I would have liked for him to hand this ball off right here as the end squeeze. I think we can see from the end zone right here. 92 ends up squeezing with this one right here. This is GH counter. The ball gets handed off right there. We've got a great play. But again, that happens sometimes.